And US President Donald Trump has made his intentions clear. He wants Greenland, but his European allies stand in opposition. They are now considering boosting military presence in Greenland to show Trump that they mean business. And taking a jibe at the state of security of Greenland, he said that it has nothing to defend itself from a possible US incursion other than dog sleds. He further alleged that the island is at any given moment swarmed by Russian or Chinese naval vessels that the US must steer clear of.
If we don't take Greenland, Russia or China will take Greenland, and I am not going to let that happen.
Is there any deal they can offer you?
Yeah, sure, I'd love to make a deal with them. It's easier. But one way or the other, we're going to have Greenland.
And he went on to reiterate the strategic importance of Greenland to the US and why it needs to prevent Russia or China from occupying it in the future. Despite the US's military presence in the island under a 1951 agreement, Trump believes it is not enough, agreeing to Trump's statement that Greenland is a threat, that Greenland is at threat from Russia and China. The NATO chief, in fact, has now said the NATO member countries are discussing and working on the next steps for how to collectively keep the Arctic safe. The NATO chief even said that the alliance has previously also discussed the same and is looking ahead to protect what's at stake.
Let me first of all stress that all allies agree on the importance of the Arctic and Arctic security, because we know that with sea lanes opening up, there is a risk that the Russians and the Chinese will be more active. And currently we are working on the next steps to make sure that indeed we collectively protect what is at stake here.
And reacting to this, China has now urged the United States to not use other countries as an excuse to pursue its own interests. China also called for respecting the rights and freedoms of all nations to conduct lawful activities in the Arctic.
The Arctic is in the overall interest of the international community. China's activities in the Arctic aim to promote peace, stability, and sustainable development in the region and are in accordance with international law. The rights and freedoms of all countries to conduct activities in the Arctic in accordance with the law should be fully respected. The United States should not use other countries as an excuse to pursue its own selfish interests.
And as the White House discusses potential plans to annex Greenland, including a possible buyout reportedly, European countries led by Britain and Germany are discussing plans to boost their military presence in Greenland and the region. The European Union also has come forward saying that it can help provide security for Greenland should Denmark request it, warning that a US military takeover of Greenland would be the end of NATO. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, in a Truth Social post, claimed it's him who saved the NATO. Amid this, the European Commissioner for Defense and Space has said that he did not think a US military invasion was coming. However, he said if needed, the EU will be stepping up under the conditions of Treaty Article 42.7 that obliges member states to come to Denmark's assistance if faced with military aggression. Denmark's Prime Minister has now said that her country faces a decisive moment in its diplomatic battle with the United States over Greenland during a debate, saying that the stakes go beyond the immediate issue of Greenland's future. This comes ahead of a meeting between Denmark and the US, scheduled to meet this week, in fact, to discuss Greenland. Greenland and Denmark have time and again reiterated that Greenland is not for sale, but Trump has not ruled out taking it by force.